going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Jackowitz. This is the Kaged Review, and I am going to review WWE SmackDown for April 2nd, 2019. And what is going on with WWE, man? There are two go-home shows to WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year, and they are just not putting out much effort, I'll be honest. Like, the storylines, the things that they got characters doing, the weird stuff they have thrown together, none of it really makes any sense. You start out this show in particular with the Kevin Owens show. So apparently he's not doing much for WrestleMania because all he's done is shows lately. And he has Randy Orton and AJ Styles. And this is a pretty good promo from both guys. I think they really sold what they were trying to do. And they took some very, very low blows at each other as far as like insults and things that kind of blended reality with, you know, the performance. And it really sold well. And of course the fight ensues, and one of the things they were talking about is how Randy Orton's been there for 11 years and only has one real move. So that was the debate about the Indies versus WWE, and AJ Styles, he starts swinging on Randy, he gets tossed outside to the apron, jumps up on the top rope like he's going for the elbow, gets caught in the RKO, and there you go. Good segment to start, I really did like it. Aleister Black and Ricochet. With the Usos take on the Bar and Rusev and Shinsuke. I liked it. This was a really good match. I really like Aleister Black, Ricochet, the Usos. I do like the Bar. I'm kind of a fan of Shinsuke. I haven't been nearly as much a fan of him since he came up to the main roster. And Rusev, I could take or leave, to be very honest. So overall, it was very good. They had some really good spots. Of course, you're going to have good spots with, you know, as much talent as you have here. At the end of the day, the Usos, they get the pin. I forget exactly who they got the pin on. I want to say Cesaro, but I could be off there. But either way, the four faces win. And then you have Alexa Bliss come out and make this announcement that as a punishment, the Usos, for backing out of last week with their competition with the New Day, are going to have a fatal four-way at WrestleMania, which, thank God, that means Ricochet and Aleister Black are going to have a match at WrestleMania, and I really wanted to see that. I think they're damn good, they deserve it, and if they didn't get used, I would have thought WWE didn't know what the hell they were doing. So, very cool. I don't know why Alexa Bliss is all of a sudden making matches again. She's not a GM. She's not anything. She's just a wrestler. She's out on injury. So where is all this power for her to create matches? So there's a problem with suspension of disbelief there. After that, you get The Miz versus Sanity. I did miss part of this match, kind of doing stuff. But basically, Shane McMahon, he's coming out, he's making stipulations, he's distracting Miz, all of this stuff. He changes it to a Falls Count Anywhere match. And so he's facing three guys in Falls Count Anywhere match, and somehow winds turning the tables and getting the win on Sanity. I will say it's kind of cool when they do this sometimes when the guy is like an absolute brute, like say Brock Lesnar or somebody built like Triple H. But honestly, I will say there is a difference when you see a guy the size of The Miz and the talent of The Miz running through three guys, two of them much bigger than he is. It just doesn't sell and it doesn't work right for me. I do like this side of The Miz that we're seeing as far as the character. Yeah, he's a little bit more aggressive, which is cool, but it really is hard for me to believe that. I mean, there's not much you can do with suspension of disbelief there. So Miz wins. I think it was kind of a good way to build up Miz and Shane because Shane playing the heel and playing the power stroke. So that is what it is. Corey Taylor then brings out Becky Lynch after a commercial break. And I thought it was going to be an interview, and it's really he just hands the microphone to Becky Lynch, who cuts a good promo talking about, you know, last night at Monday Night Raw when everything was chaos and they all three got put in handcuffs. And then, of course, WrestleMania. So it was decent there. And that is exactly the point where things just absolutely fall apart. Before commercial, you get this weird segment where you just see a bunch of like random people I don't know, they're all energetic in the background for some reason. And then after commercial, it comes back and it is an 18-person mixed tag match. So they literally just threw a whole bunch of people together and made a fight. Men and women, and it didn't make any sense. None of it made sense. They're like, this is the biggest mixed tag match ever. But it's the biggest who gives a shit match ever too. Like, there is nothing of consequence here. There is no rhyme or reason to this. No storylines involved at all. And at the end, the match just got thrown out because everybody started fighting. It turned into a Rumble style match with men and women. So that really did not make sense. At the end, it was Becky, or I'm sorry, not Becky, Asuka and Jeff Hardy standing tall. They hug, and then Asuka throws Jeff Hardy out of the ring. And so she's standing tall, and that was the whole bit. And it was a big, ginormous waste of time. It made no sense whatsoever. Then you get Samoa Joe versus Mustafa Ali. Decent match for what it was. Samoa Joe picks up the win. And then Michael Cole mediates Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan's contract signing, which was some good promos. You definitely had some decent promo work in here. And I'll say that I really like Kofi Kingston's intensity during the promo. He tried to keep it pretty cool, calm, and collected, even when everybody was chanting his name. And Daniel Bryan's cutting them down and saying, he's not motivated enough, and he's been here for X amount of years and not doing much with his time. And then Kofi really fires up at the end, and of course that's what you would expect. And so he's like, you know what this momentum feels like, and you know what's coming next. I'm going to beat you, take away the belt at WrestleMania. Signs the contract, and that's where they leave off. There were a couple of things in this show that it just did not make sense. Namely, this huge mixed tag match that just had no point to it turned into a Rumble that had no point to it. The whole Alexa Bliss thing, like making matches, I just don't understand. It did have a good opening promo from Randy Orton and AJ. And there were actually a couple of matches here that I really, really liked. Specifically, the first one with Aleister Black, Ricochet, the Usos, taking on Rusev, Shinsuke in the bar. It was really, really good. Miz and Sanity was alright. There was a big suspension of disbelief that wasn't there. And Samoa Joe and Ali was exactly what you'd expect. It was decent, but Samoa Joe's going to go over. So overall, definitely a mixed bag. You had some really good stuff. It's the last show before WrestleMania. They're going to have something good there. But there were a couple of things, just like on Raw, that they just didn't even try. And I'm like, on the road to WrestleMania, go-home show, like, this is a normal 2-hour show. It's not like they have 3 hours to figure out what to do with. And they've certainly got the people for it, so I feel like that they dropped the ball with this. So because of the really good points, I'm going to give it a halfway. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I don't think it deserves more than 5 out of 10 because I don't feel like they put in the effort for it. I feel like you should make this show good all the way through. That's just how I feel about it. So 5 out of 10, that's where I'm at. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackwitz. Kaged Nation, out.